Hi, I'm your host, Miss Pantheress, with OnLive magazine. And online today, I have the legendary R&B artist, Mr. Howard Hewett, former lead vocalist of Shalimar. So I'm gonna go to the line and welcome Mr. Hewett on live, y'all. Hello, Mr. Hewett. How are you?
I'm very well, April. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's glad to have you on live.
Good to be here. Thank you. Thank you very
How was your
much.
day, or should I ask? Okay, it was all good.
All good. It's all good.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, can you tell us, I know some of us know and some of us don't know, but I know you have an inspirational story on how you started your career, and I know a lot of new and upcoming artists like to hear our celebrity and legendary artists, the story behind how they got started because it's always inspirational to them, so can you just tell us just a little bit about it?
Well, I've been singing since I was 10 years old. We had a my mom was a gospel major gospel promoter in the Akron, Canton, Cleveland area in Ohio, and so when she found out my sisters and I could hold a note, and she
Uh-huh.
put together she put together the Hewitt Singers, and I was, like I said, I was about 10, 11 years old, and of course, once we put the group together, nepotism was alive and well in our family. So
Uh-huh.
every time my mom would do a show,
Uh-huh.
she'd bring in James Cleveland, Albertina Walker, Caravan, Volunteers, Pilgrim Jubilee, Bill Moss and the Celestials, all kind of people, and we of course we would open the show for her, right?
Oh, okay, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so like I started at a very early age, with on stages with with major gospel artists and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
I did that until I was about 14, 14 or 15. Then I went into what they call the devil's music, you know, R&B field and all that, and my partners and I in high school we put together this group called Life.
Uh-huh.
We spelled it Lyfe, and we were funky. We were all like 15, 16, 17 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I did that until I graduated, and then I kicked around Akron. I kicked around for about a year, and then I came out to went out to California when I was about 19, 20 years old,
Oh, okay.
and I got there. I literally my cousin was there, and he said, "Man, come out, and it's great out here." Blah 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 blah. And so, I touched down. I went to L.A. I touched down. Like I said, I was about 20. I think I just turned 20,
Uh-huh.
and I touched down LAX. I had like about $34 in my pocket after I had paid for my one way ticket from Ohio,
Uh-huh.
and so then a couple months after I got out there, I started helped put together a group called a show group called Beverly Hills,
Oh,
and I
okay.
put it together. I put it together with these people that own this club called Mavericks Flat down in the Crenshaw district in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and they also had they put together show groups also, but they also had a booking agency.
Uh-huh.
So once we got the group, we took about a year of rehearsing and hiring and firing people. And, I quit a couple times myself and came back, and but once we got the group in shape enough to tour, then we went overseas. All their bookings and everything were overseas.
Oh,
So
okay.
all all in all, I spent about a year, about a year and a half overseas, and between uh, Saint Tropez, France, Helsinki, Finland, Benidorm, Spain,
Wow.
and even Switzerland, all over the place. We
Uh-huh.
we traveled everywhere.
Wow.
and I was like I was making a salary. I was making 250, 300 bucks a week. But I mean, I had no kids, no responsibilities,
Right.
no wife or nothing.
Right.
So I was just having a good time, and but every night, I'm on stage almost every night,
Uh-huh.
and perfecting my craft, my skill,
Right.
and then when I came back from there. I kicked around LA for about 6 months and started working with these people over at Motown.
Uh-huh.
And then I worked with them for about 3 months. There was this guy, Jeffrey Bowen, was producing an album on Eddie Hazel, the guitar player for Parliament Funkadelic. And and he was putting together a self-contained unit. And so like, I worked with them for about 2 or 3 months, and then it started getting a little shaky as far as certain things are concerned. And I called a meeting. It was on a Friday. I called a meeting with Jeffrey Bowen to go in and start talking about the complaints I had.
Uh-huh.
And we were at the Motown building up on the 15th floor.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of the meeting, the phone rings, and the guy answers the phone, and he looks at me. He says, "It's for you." And I said, "Well, tell her if it's my lady, because as far as I was concerned, she was the only one who knew where I was, because I dropped her off at work,
Right.
and then I went to the meeting,
Uh-huh.
and if it's my lady, tell her I'll call her back, when I get done with the meeting."
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Well, it's not a lady, it's a guy, and it sounds like it's long distance. So I get on the phone, and it's Jeffrey Daniel from Shalimar, right?
Right.
They had a tune out called "Take That to the Bank,"
Uh-huh.
and then he because they used to come down to Maverick's Flat. When the only time I ever performed with Beverly Hills with the show group was at Maverick's Flat, because
Uh-huh.
it was a club downstairs and rehearsal rooms and offices upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the weekend, if we put this show together that we wanted to try out on an audience, then we would play there at Mavericks, and all the Soul Train people, everybody used to come down to Mavericks. And,
Oh, okay.
Mavericks was a real popular spot. So
Uh-huh.
that's when I first met. That's when I first met Jeffrey and Jody before Shalimar even existed.
Oh, okay.
So then they were, fast forward to I'm working with Motown, and then he calls, and they were in the middle of a promotional tour, and they evidently got into some type of whatever with the guy that's saying take that to the bank,
Uh-huh.
and he left them out on the road without a lead singer. And
Wow.
so Jeffrey finds out, because the lady I was with at the time, she worked for Don Cornelius at the Soul Train Dance Studios.
Oh, okay.
So Jeffrey knew that she worked for him, and called her to find out where I was. And she told him that I was at the Motown building. So he calls the Motown building and tracks me down,
Uh-huh.
and then says, we want to offer you an equal position in the group, lead singer. He said, "You're in the Motown building, right?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "What floor are you on?" I said, "I'm up on the 15th floor." He
Uh-huh.
said, "Well, Solar Records, which was the record company they were with,
Right.
had an office in that same building down on the ninth floor."
Uh-huh.
And he said, "We talked to Dick Griffey, who was the owner of Solar, and we told him about you. He's waiting for you to get in touch with him. You can go right downstairs and see and get in to talk to him." So I got off the phone, and I told the producer that I was doing the project with. I
Uh-huh.
told him what the deal was, and he says, well, Shalimar is just a fly-by-night disco group. They'll never amount to anything.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Solar would never be a Motown, and blah, 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 blah. And he's talking.
Right.
And I'm listening, right? And when he got finished talking, I said, well, I'm passed on this street. I gotta go put some money in the meter, right?
Uh
And so I went right downstairs
huh.
to pull out records,
Uh huh.
got in, talked to Dick Griffey. He made an offer, and I told him, well, let me give these people upstairs, a chance to rectify themselves, because even though I didn't have a contract with them, a contractual agreement, it was still my word.
Right.
I still was working with them. So I told Dick I'm gonna give them a chance to rectify themselves that night, and I said I'll call you in the morning,
Uh
right?
huh. Mhm.
So I called them and I said, look, I'm gonna be home all night if you guys wanna. I called the Motown people and I said, if you guys wanna rectify this, I'll be home.
Uh huh.
And so I went home. That was Friday. That was on a Friday. I went home. Nobody called. So Saturday morning, I called Dick. He came and picked me up. I went over to his house and watched a videotape of the Shalimar show. And then I remember I was sitting in this rocking chair, and then when the videotape goes off, Dick says, "Well, sing something. Definitely Jody say you're a great singer. Sing something."
Uh huh.
And I said, just sing something right here, a cappella. He said, "Yeah." So to myself, I said, "Well, Lord, me and you, right?" So
Right.
I broke into "Feel the Fire" by Peebo Bryson,
Oh
right?
wow.
And I got through the first verse, half the hook, and Dick says, "Okay, okay, okay, I'll be right back." He goes upstairs, comes back down, and he goes in one pocket. He has $500. He said, "Here's some cash. Leave it with your old lady, pay some bills, whatever."
Uh huh.
And then he goes in the other pocket and he has his airline ticket. And that was back in the day where I could ride on your airline ticket. You didn't have to have a name, a specific name on the
Right.
airline ticket. He said, "Here's the airline ticket. You
Uh
got to
huh.
catch a red eye out tonight, and tomorrow you get into the dirt tomorrow. Um, you got to lip sync and then take that to the bank, because Monday, you got a TV show to do."
Uh huh. So you just roll
And
right into everything, pretty
and
much,
that
huh?
and that's just how it went down. That's how it went down, and I got the offer on Friday. I guess I did a little lightweight audition Saturday.
Uh huh.
Saturday, Saturday night I was on the red eye.
Uh huh.
Met them in Newark, New Jersey on Sunday morning. We rehearsed all day. The choreography, take that to the bank, and the lip sync to take that to the bank. And then that next day, Monday, we did this little, TV show, this little local dance show that they were scheduled to do.
Right.
So, and so I did the Millie Vanilli thing a long time before Millie Vanilli did it. I'm
Oh, did
singing,
you?
singing somebody else's voice. But the rest is history, as they say, and
Uh
that's
huh.
how that whole thing got started.
Well, y'all was jamming. Y'all was jamming. I always love y'all music. I used to dress like Jody Watley all the time. I used to have my little can skirts, my little net skirt with my hat
Yeah,
and everything. I was a little Jody Watley fan type thing. Yeah.
that's it.
So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
when you were with Shalimar, what was one of your favorite songs?
With Shalimar,
Uh huh.
I think one of my favorite songs was "For the Lover in You."
For loving you.
Uh, yeah, "For the Lover in You." This is "For the Lover in You" because one thing, I wasn't a big fan of disco, you know,
Uh huh.
and so fortunately we were more in the post. We were more going into the post disco age, but
Mhm.
before that, when people would say, with second time around and all that other
Mhm.
and the second time around, it was like, the dance group, Shalimar, the disco group Shalimar,
Uh huh.
when they would do write ups and stuff. But when we did For the Lover in You, it rounded us out.
Uh huh.
Really rounded us out as just a well rounded, R&B
Right.
group.
Right.
And so that was one of my favorite songs. Plus, it was one of the first songs I ever co-wrote. So I
Oh,
thought
okay.
it was special meaning to me, you know. So,
Right.
but, you know, cause, but if when I was a Shalimar, if I was to say one of my favorite songs, it would be "For Loving You."
Oh, okay. Okay. So do you write a lot of your music now that you're solo?
I write a lot of it. I've
Oh,
written a
okay.
lot of it. I don't, I don't, you know, it's not a thing where I have to write everything because
Uh-huh.
you never know where a hit song's gonna come from, you know.
Right. Cuz I love your
So
storylines on everything. It's so romantic and everything.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know.
like you have this song like once, twice, three times,
Oh
right?
man, I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that
But,
one. I
but
love
see,
that one.
but see, but see, that was like uh I used to come. I fly in and out of LAX all the time, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
LAX, LAX is almost like my second home. I was kidding with my sister today when
Mhm.
I was at the airport before I flew here.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and you know, it's like every time I would come in and out. This was way back in the day. Every time I would come in, I'd see this skycap guy. His name is Kenny Aubrey. He
Uh-huh.
came up and introduced himself. He was a skycap, and every time I come in, he would say, "Oh, Howard, man, I have a great, I have a track for you that you would kill this track, you know."
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I said, well, hey, man, give me a cassette. Back then it was cassettes, right?
Uh-huh.
He give me a cassette, you know, and and I came in and out a couple times, and about three or four times, and he kept telling me, I got a track that you love, blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
Finally one day I came in and was down waiting for my luggage and stuff, and he came up. He says, "Here's a cassette. You know, check it out. You know, my number's on there. Let me know what's happening."
Right.
So I get home. I get home and I put this thing on, and it wasn't a great recording. It was a lot of hiss, a lot of distortion, but
Uh-huh.
I could hear where it was going as far as like the track was concerned. It didn't have any lyrics or melody or anything on it.
Right. Right.
But as far as the track was concerned, I could hear where he was trying to go. So I called my crew in, right, and we sat down and went through it and you know, put it in a definite format, the whole thing, recorded it, and that was once, twice, three times. So that's why I always say,
Oh, okay.
uh, I wrote when I wrote the lyrics and the
Uh-huh.
melody to that, you know, it's like you never know where a song is coming from, or his song is coming from,
You right.
and so I never like close myself up to, well, I have to write everything, you know, because
Right. Right.
there's,
Right.
there's a lot of people with great ideas out there.
Oh, of course. Sure. I feel you on
Yeah.
that. Um. Um. I wanted to ask you. I seen the video when y'all did right in the socket back in the day, and there's Jeffrey that's moonwalking on the show. I think it was live. Um,
Mhm.
how does that tie in with Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson thing?
Well,
I think
Jeff,
Jeffrey is ended up working with him on some of his choreography with
well,
Michael Jackson.
Jeff, Jeffrey, I gotta say, you know, Jeffrey taught Michael how to do the backslide. We used to call it the backslide, right?
Right back in the day.
Um, yeah, but it was like then he taught Michael how to do it. Can we,
Jeffrey had showed Michael
oh
Jackson
yeah,
how to.
see, Michael used to come. We used to play Disneyland all the time in at home in LA, in California,
Okay.
and so Michael used to come to the shows, you know, because he liked Disneyland. So he used to come to the shows. He would stand backstage and watch our show. He had a surgical mask on and everything, right?
Uh huh.
And he would stand backstage and watch the show, right?
Okay.
And and we would do our first song was this tune called "Right in the Socket,"
Uh huh.
right?
Uh huh.
And we come out jam and everything we jam, and then right in the middle of "Right in the Socket," the band would break down into this funky groove.
Uh huh.
Jody Jody and I would stand on one side of the stage, Jeffrey be on the other side, and we would pull this imaginary rope.
Uh-huh.
And Jeffrey would backslide all the way across the stage.
Uh-huh.
And people would go crazy. They go crazy. So
Right.
Michael wanted to learn how to do that, right? So
Uh-huh.
like we were getting ready to go overseas for promotional things,
Uh-huh.
and Jeffrey, so Jeffrey couldn't go over there, but he had this dance troupe called Electric Boogaloo's or something. I forget what they called it.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent two guys from the dance troupe over there to the house on Havenhurst, Michael and the house on Havenhurst,
Right.
to teach Michael how to do the backslide.
Uh-huh.
So we were gone for about 3 or 4 weeks, right? And when we got back, he still hadn't figured it out, right? He still hadn't learned it from these guys.
Uh-huh.
So he hired Jeffrey to come over there and had Jeffrey teach him. So Jeffrey taught him how to do the backslide. And
Okay.
then some years later, on the 25th Motown 25th anniversary,
Uh-huh.
he did it. He called it the moonwalk.
Okay.
And so but I mean, he gave Jeff props and everything. It
Right.
wasn't like he just stole it. Plus, people have been doing that kind of thing for years. It just Jeffrey perfected it, and
Right.
because even though Michael did the moonwalk, when Jeff would do the backside. I mean, he was smooth. It was like he was on a conveyor belt or something.
Right.
So like but that's the story.
Oh, okay.
And I tell everybody, Jeffrey taught Michael how to do the moonwalk.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I used to do the moonwalk too back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I used to do the moonwalk, pop lock, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to do it all. I was always dancing here and there. But
That's right.
okay.
So you dress like Jody and dance like Jeff.
Oh yeah, I was a funky person all the time. That's why I go by Miss Pantheress. I'm the wild cat. With the colorful hair and the whole bits. I done went through the
Mm-hmm.
rock funk version and the whole works.
That's good. That's cool.
But I'm not gonna hold you. I know you just got in, and I really appreciate you dropping by to um roll with the Panthers online. And
Mm-hmm.
huh?
That's good. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So I hope you have a good night and a good flight, a good travel, and all that good stuff. And hope to see you in Texas somewhere. Because wherever you at, where if I am close enough or something, I am gonna come see you because I'm old school and I like to be reminded of old school. And I love all the music you sing, because all the memories bring me back to things I've done in the past when the music came on.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay.
So,
Well, you have a
so
good.
where are you? Where are
Huh?
you in Texas?
I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio. Okay. Because I'll be in Fort Worth uh, sometime in the next. Um, I think it's next month. I think it's in October sometime.
Oh, really?
October. And you can go. You can tell everybody. You can go to Facebook.com/Howard Hewitt fan page,
Okay.
and you get the Twitter account as well as the Instagram account from there, and also the calendar that will tell you where I'm going to be.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. And I do want to wish you a happy early birthday because I know your birthday is coming October 1st.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
know the party's gonna be on wherever you at.
Yeah, I'm gonna be home. We're gonna